Oh, yeah. What's up, everybody? I'm Zach Dresler. That's Indy Fawcett.
Hello. Faucet.
And welcome. What's it?
Faucet.
Faucet? What was I? Fawcett?
Faucet. I mean,
I really overpronounced it that way. Fawcett. And this is the Zach Dresler Show. Not live, but I'm still gonna fuck up people's names.
very rocky. Not even enough time for the lower third to go away.
I know.
I had to just talk. I had to milk it right now just so the lower third could stay on the screen long enough. Okay, there we go.
I fucked that one up, but whatever. It's fine.
But you're Zach Dresler. You're the host of the Zach Dresler Show.
Sure. But I need to, not say Fawcett. It's Fawcett. I was just being fancy.
I was just being.
I don't know
I'm
why.
sorry. I apologize. We're fine.
But welcome to the show, everyone. Please, if you can, before we get to the rest of the show, like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Tell your friends if you want or don't. I don't really give a shit. It may be nice, but I don't care.
Yeah, subscribe, rate, review.
Yeah, rate. Yeah. Oh yeah, rate and review, and check us out on iTunes, Spotify, Amazon, Stitcher, and you can check it out at TZDS.tv and TZDS.gay. You click those two links.
8 weeks in, he got it. He got
I finally got it.
URL.
Finally fucking got it. You click those links, though, and it will take you to all the other links where you can watch the video, the audio, whatever you want, whatever your little heart desires. It's all there. And now, we also,
yes,
and I got to get my phone because this is new, and I don't want to fuck this up. We have a call-in number. Not a live call-in number. It's not live. Pre-recorded. Yeah,
dude.
We have a call-in number that you can call up. It's live anytime to yell at me, to compliment me, to tell me what I'm doing wrong. If you don't want to leave a comment, if you really want me to hear the hate in your voice about something I've said.
Or the love.
Or the love.
Yeah.
You know.
Give him a little wink.
Please. Give this number a call. It's 405-655-8937. Or it's 405, or it's not or. It's basically 405-655-TZDS. Those last four digits are the Zach Dresler Show. So check it out, 405-655-8937. The number's right here for you to check out.
Oh, yeah.
Again, leave a message, whatever you want to do.
We're single-handedly bringing down the Google Voice servers here on the TZDS.
Sure. I don't believe that for 1 second, but sure. Great guest today. I'm really excited to have this guest on. I know I say that probably every guest. It's true. I am excited to have all my guests on. Otherwise, I wouldn't fucking invite them on my show. But I'm excited to see this guy. I'm excited to talk to this person. People are like, are you excited about every guest? Do you not want me to be excited about every guest? Do you want me to be like, well, today we got someone I don't want to talk to?
I know it's interesting too because I produce this podcast and a couple others, and when I'm writing some captions in the Instagram posts, I'm always like, it's a fun one this week.
Yeah,
it's a great one.
But it is. They're all fun.
I shouldn't say that.
But they're
and
fun.
I erase it.
But they are fun. And they are
fun.
great. And the guests are great because I don't want to bring people. I mean, I'm going to bring on people I don't know because I want to get to know them. But I'm not going to bring on a person that's shitty. I'm not going to be like, ugh, well, today we got a shitty podcast. I got some asshole or some bitch that's coming on the show. I'm not like that.
That might be a good podcast, Zach.
All right, maybe we can do something
Maybe
like
we're
that.
making the wrong podcast.
Maybe. I don't know. We can do that. What's that podcaster, YouTuber, Zway?
Never heard of him.
I think her.
Sorry.
Yeah, she did something with Andrew. She likes to trick people into coming onto the shows and doing things. But she did something with Andrew Yang, with an interview about him being the mayor-elect. Or not mayor-elect, running for mayor, and asked him questions, and he bombed. He was like, what's your favorite part of New York City? Or Manhattan. He said Times Square. Get the fuck out of here, Andrew Yang. I like Andrew Yang.
Times Square?
Times Square is no one's favorite place. You know who's favorite? Tourists.
That's exactly what a tourist would say, right?
And he couldn't name, apparently. I didn't watch the whole thing.
The one time I went to New York, that's the one place I avoided going.
Yeah. You go for like a hot minute as like a passerby if you want to go see 30 Rock or something along those lines. But you avoid that place. I mean, here's the thing with New York. If you want to...
Is it like Hollywood? It's like Hollywood Boulevard.
It's Hollywood Boulevard, and it's changed so much over the years. There's nothing authentic about it anymore. Anyway, going back to what I was excited about. This fucking took a tangent. Get back to the
Eli
fucking...
gets you on about Times Square, yeah.
Eli Vazquez is coming on the show today. A friend of mine, he's a cinematographer, a director, a producer, a filmmaker, self-hype entrepreneur. I mean,
multifaceted.
He's a multifaceted and just overall just a great human being. And we're going to talk about his short film they just filmed, Quince Til Infinity, as well as some other projects he's going on. We'll talk about him growing up in Chicago. We'll talk some food things. So I'm excited about that. How you doing, brother?
Doing good, man. Doing good. We're gonna expand this here makeshift studio in the next couple months. It's gonna be great. Yeah, we're doing it over here. So
I love it.
Yeah,
I love it.
Another great week.
There will be some new content other than the podcast, the Zach Dresler show coming out. I have a bunch of, at least not seriously a bunch, 2 or 3 bagel reviews that I have recorded with my brother. I just haven't got around to editing them. A dude's busy. A dude's got a lot of things going on. A lot of good things, but just a lot of things going on. I need to record.
Damn.
Not to brag. I'm just being honest. People are, the 214 subscribers that we have are curious about why they haven't seen me go all off on some bagel place. It's just been busy. I mean, we recorded them. But I'm also going to be recording another piece of content, hopefully. I mean, if we can get our shit together, with our good friend Jeremy Koenig.
Yes.
He reached out to me and said he wants to do a fried chicken sandwich review. Because recently Burger King has come out with a new. They've entered the fried chicken sandwich game.
Oh my God! Really?
The BK. I think it's called the BK Cha-Ching. It looks very. I forget the name of it. Look it up. Yeah. Okay. It's Burger King to enter the chicken sandwich wars with the Cha-King. So it's a CH''KING. There it is.
Oh my God!
It looks kind of good, but again,
I want this.
This is all photos. I mean, I still hold.
It's the Chick-fil-A original sandwich, right?
Essentially. Now, I'm not a big Chick-fil-A guy. I think Chick-fil-A is very overrated.
It is.
I think their sandwiches are meh, at best.
Yeah, I always think the grilled chicken nuggets. There's never enough.
Yeah,
I don't want to order two packages, but I don't want to get a little dainty kid's cup.
Yeah, I'm just
chicken nuggets.
I'm not into. I mean, their chicken sandwiches. The buns are usually soggy. It's just not good. I love Popeye's chicken sandwich. McDonald's fried chicken sandwich, the one they came out with, that ain't so bad either. So, long story short, we're gonna be doing this. Me and Jeremy. He wants to get all the chicken sandwiches and try it. He was like, should we just get them all from all different? I'm like, no, we got to stick with fast food, and we do another one where it's like local mom and pops.
I love how you've gone from fitness journey to.
I am still doing my fitness journey.
To carb review.
Can't I do both? Can't I be a fatty?
You can.
A fit fatty and a fatty fit?
You can, and Eli makes that point tonight.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. We're going to talk about that because Eli that's a great segue.
Great
Thank
segue.
you. Right before we get to Eli. Eli and I do talk about that because we both have similar weight loss journeys in various ways, whether we're working at BuzzFeed or not. So let's get him on. I'm going to bring Eli on now. Eli Vazquez. I am excited to talk to this guy. Here we go.
Great segue.
Yo, man.
What's up?
This is great. Dude, I'm excited, man, because I haven't talked to you. I haven't seen you in, I feel like, 2 years because it's been a pandemic and a half. And, I didn't see you, I think I saw you, maybe the summer of 2019. How you been, dude? How's your teeth?
Oh, good. I was worried. This week because I was like, shit, we got to do this podcast. And I was like,
I saw that.
I was like Kanye West through the wire over the weekend. It was rough, but we got through it. I feel like a normal person now. I still got the stitches, but we're getting it all figured out Friday morning. I'm totally good.
Okay, cool. Because I'm scared shitless. I have to get mine taken out sometime this fall. I've been pushing this off for 3 years now.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I want to add, how was it? I know this is a stupid way to start an interview, but it's one of my, I'm just scared of it, man. I'm paranoid about it.
Yeah. I mean, I would same, right? I should have gotten mine out 10 years ago and I just well, they don't hurt. So whatever. And, I figured I was well, I think it's time. 'Cause this doctor was looking at it. I'm like, oh yeah, you're losing like your bone in the back or something, and then food's getting trapped and stuff like that. I was like, oh god, it's starting to get bad. And then I got this weird headache, and they said it could be related to the wisdom teeth. So I was like, okay, I just got to get it out. One of them was close to a nerve that could potentially just like shut off half of my face that I was worried about.
That's crazy.
But luckily, I'm living in like a nice area, and I went to a place where like a lot of white women go. So I went there. There's a lot of white women that was there. I was like, hey, if they're going,
trustworthy.
I feel like I'm safe. And they did a great job. So like, I got stitches on 3. I would say the first like 3 days sucks, and now that's just kind of itchy, and it's like day 5.
And I saw you're tired of ice cream, which really disappoints me because I love ice cream, man.
I never thought I would. Well, I have to eat normal ice cream. I can't get like Rocky Road or
it's like soft serve,
like that.
Like just
it's like soft serve.
Did they knock you out? Are you like completely knocked out?
Well, yeah, they knocked me out, and they lied to me too because I was like, oh, we're just hydrating you with the IV, and I think they do that just so you could pass out. But it was the thing that knocks you out, so I got knocked out. But they were like talking the whole time, and they were like, I remember just being like half awake, and they're asking me questions, and I think they were talking about like, what would you be for Halloween? And they asked me like, oh, would you be like Maui from Moana? And I'm like, I don't even have the mental comprehension if this is racist or not, because I'm like half awake. But like, no, I don't know. Like, I don't. That seems like it would cost a lot because I have to tattoo my whole body. But I don't know. It was an experience. Yeah. But yeah, I was out of it for a little bit.
I've never been on anesthesia. I've never had like major stitches done. So this is like traumatizing just to even talk about it, because I have these like visions where I'm like, what happens if they knock me out and I never wake up, and that's how I die, getting my wisdom teeth taken out? What if I'm like the 0.000 or the first case of that ever happens? Like that's You
never got serious injuries or anything like that? Didn't you do sports and stuff?
I did. Correction. I have torn my PCL, but that was orthoscopic. You know what I mean? Okay. It's not like they're ripping and grinding, which I feel like that's what they're doing. It's like I feel like they're pulling these things out of your mouth. So it's like,
yeah. I mean, I don't know. It's they've been doing this for like how long? You know what I mean? Like if
I know.
It's like, guys, just find a spot where a bunch of white women are going, and then you'll be fine. Like that's your North Star.
I think it's just the way I think. Like even when I got the second shot of Moderna, and it hit me hard, real hard. I was like, what if I'm the 0.001% that like gets like really something bad happens from it, and then I mean, it's science. It's all proven good. There's gonna be some whatever, but it's proven to be fine.
Exactly. That's how I feel too. I was worried about the Moderna as well. Like first one I was worried, and then the second one I was like, screw it, let's just make it happen. Because I got COVID last summer. So someone was like, it's not going to be as bad as getting COVID. So I was like, you're right. And the whole idea of I'm not going to die. I just feel like shit, so that's good. Yeah. That's the whole kind of mindset of thinking. But
well, enough about that talk. What I want to talk to you about, I mean, is what you've been working on for the past few weeks, man. Your big film, Quince Til Infinity. How did it go? First of all, to the very few subscribers I do have, tell them what it's about. Obviously do the whole thing.
First off, I didn't know we were just jumping in. The teeth thing's gonna be a part of it. Yeah.
Oh,
I'm cool with it.
Yeah, I mean, if I can move it to the end, we can do all that stuff for the end. I just figured it'd be easier just to roll into conversation.
I love it. No,
okay,
I love it.
Cool.
It feels natural.
I just want to. It's just easy. I don't know about that. I just like to make everybody feel comfortable, like we're just hanging out between you and I, which is what we're doing.
Yeah, what we're doing. So I have to acknowledge that, like, you got the whole setup, the whole ZD. I'm so proud of the hustle. And plus, Indy's on the track as well. I was so hyped to get an email from him.
And honestly, the hustle wouldn't be really what it is if it wasn't for Indy. Like, I can't take full, because he's the one he contacted me. He's like, we should do this. I think you're great at this. And I appreciate that. I really do appreciate that from him. And I wouldn't be able to do a lot of this, pretty much any of this if it wasn't for him. I wouldn't do any of it because I'd be like, it's too much fucking work. I mean,
oh yeah. It's a big old pain in the ass. I've done podcasts before. I was like, dang, you got Indy? That's what's up. I was like, God damn, that's wild.
Exactly.
That's dope. But yeah, I had to give you those kudos before.
No, I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that, man. And likewise, like before we get into it, like there's a few people that it's not that I don't respect a lot of people that we used to work with at BuzzFeed, but like I appreciate and I respect the fucking hell out of you for what you have done for that company, what you did for yourself, what you're doing now. You know what I mean? Because I think you're doing like a lot of things that, I mean, we all wanted to do while we were at BuzzFeed, but on the outside of that, you are putting the pedal to the metal, dude. And I'm not saying this to blow smoke up your ass or kiss your ass. Like it motivates me. Like even, your whole experience through pandemic and seeing, you getting COVID and being honest about the weight gain and all that stuff. It's like I related to that and I appreciated your honesty because I hid behind the camera. I didn't post as much. I did gain weight. I'm still trying to lose it. But like everything else you did, doing this short film, doing all the other stuff you did, the self-hype stuff, it's awesome to see because it's not comparing. It just helps me motivate. Like I've stopped comparing. I did that a long time ago. And to see you do it as a friend, as a human, it helps me be like, yes, I can do these things. I just need to fucking focus.
Hell yeah, dude. Thank you for saying all that. It really means a lot. I mean, same, like you're one of the people at BuzzFeed that I really like vibed with and always like fucks with super hard. I could cuss, right?
Go fucking ahead. Go right ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah. I was like, I fucks with super hard. And so it means a lot hearing that from you. Yeah, man, it's been wild. I mean, if anything, like per the question about the movie, I'm a big believer that like the worst things that happen in your life are like the greatest things that happen in your life, because it really shapes who you are and really kind of like makes you realize how precious life is, or pushes you in some way that you've never been pushed before. And it's something that you never forget, that it keeps with you. And it's like a motivation that like, which is your story.
Yeah.
So it's like this pandemic, like completely changed me. Like I'm embarrassed of the guy I was before this pandemic started. And I loved that I could say that because I've grown so much just as a creative, a filmmaker, as a partner. I live with a girlfriend. Zach, if you told me before this pandemic I was going to live with a girl, I'd be like, you're batshit crazy. But like,
I wouldn't have told you. I wouldn't have told you because that's not who I thought you were. Like, I thought, you were going out and enjoying life, being the single guy. Yeah.
Exactly. I was like, this isn't me. What's going on? This is ridiculous. I should be in the club right now. But it's like, I fucking love it. And I've been able to grow so much as like a man, as a partner, as a brother, we actually moved close to family. So just that dynamic of, you get the grind of like being alone in LA, but like be able to experience what family life is like as well. It totally revamped it. And filmmaking was a part of that. So what really lit a fire under my ass was like, I had this Quince Til Infinity idea for years, and I was actually going to produce it with DJ, who was a production coordinator at BuzzFeed, March of last year, right when the pandemic hit. So the pandemic hit and we had to stop it. But what really lit a fire under my ass again was I pitched an idea for Netflix and LALIF, the Latino International Film Festival, collabed for Afro Latinx Film Fellowship that I applied for. And I submitted an idea that was like I created in college, and I made it to the final round. And I didn't get it, but the heads reached out to me and was like, yo, if it was up to me, I would choose you. Please don't stop. Let's get lunch. I want to make your movie. I was like, bro, I'm not even putting 110% in this. Imagine what if I do it.
Yeah.
So I was like, I hit up DJ. I was like, bro, let's make this movie. And Quince Til Infinity, for your question, is, I grew up like in Gary, Indiana. If you don't know what Gary, Indiana is, like the murder capital of the world. And
I did not know that. I thought you were, I knew you grew up in the Midwest. I thought it was Chicago, like, Illinois.
It's right outside Chicago.
Okay.
So like you go to Walgreens in Gary, it's all Bulls, Bears,
gotcha.
All that stuff, T-shirts and stuff. So it's really just outside. It's the most diverse county in Indiana. And it's the least funded. Shout out to Governor Pence. I knew he sucked before everyone else did. Yeah, exactly. So he sucked. So like I grew up there, and like being like a really nerdy, quiet, shy kid, bottle cap glasses, loved anime, into punk rock, and wearing black all the time. I had to stand up in quinceañeras in the hood. So I didn't really I wasn't the most popular guy at these places. So like, I remember watching a show called End of the Fucking World. I don't know if you saw it. Those two teenagers, they steal a car and they end up like,
yes.
Crazy stuff happens.
Yeah.
So yeah, I like love that concept. And I was like, okay, what if I just like Latinx the fuck out of it? It's set in a quince, but it's just two rebellious teens, like kind of clashing against tradition and culture, that just feel alone, that find each other at the event. They steal a car and just go on a thrill ride of their lives while their family like chases them down, so it's this kind of clashing of not feeling like you fit in, feeling alone, very much myself when I was 15, standing up in these stupid ass quinces, and just having that dope Latinx story of just brown kids just vibing and falling in love and being stupid while their family like chases them down. So yeah, we had an amazing team, amazing cast. We got 100% funded.
Yeah.
Now we're in post.
I love it. And it was like 3 days of shooting. And it looked incredible. I mean, it was, again, following you on your stories. It looked intense, but it looked fun as hell. I mean, I miss doing shoots like that, like weekend-long shoots or week-long shoots where you're just, grinding, but everyone's enjoying it. Everyone's having a good time.
Yeah.
Now, is this story set to take place, like, as you growing up, like your era of time, or is this, like, present day happening now on these kids, but your story? You know what I mean?
That would be pretty dope, but per budget, we kind of just did it for modern times.
Okay.
Because I think the story applies anyway. Like I was talking to the lead actor, who is phenomenal. Their name is Days. They played Glada, the Quince girl that is the co-lead. Oh, my light's messing up over here. And we were talking, and like they're 20, and they're like, "This is my life. Like I grew up just no one understanding me. Like I'm an artist." No one gets me. Like, so this is really for a story for anyone who watches it now. Like my 15-year-old self now could watch this if they're from some small town in Indiana and be like, yo, I vibe with this. Because those are the movies I wish I saw, those indie movies.
Absolutely. What was the casting like? What was the process like? Did you sit down with these kids and talk about, their upcoming and, upbringing and stuff like that, so you can get a vibe of like, this is the right person for this character in that role? Because I know Gadiel's in the show, in the film, and you got some other, other people in the film as well. But like, what was like casting like for the kids?
Yeah. The good thing, I mean, the crazy thing was like, I think if there's one thing as a filmmaker now versus me in my like 20s, I'm like 30 now. I'm like when I was in my like 20s coming up. Like I very much follow my gut, and I trust it now more than ever. Like I used to overthink so much before. So the casting process was actually very straightforward. Days I knew automatically I wanted. First off, you got to find someone who looks like a teenager, but is not a teenager, because legally there's so much more costs and budget and everything else.
For
so
sure.
They're actually 20, but they look like 15, 16. So that's one. And then two was like you kind of follow your gut. Like you Days never acted before, but I had a feeling, and I was like, can you please just send this self-tape? I just want to see what you do with it. It just created they made so many big choices that I loved, and I knew I could work with that. So I just like boom, cast it. I had no idea of the background story and all that. I just knew you can embody this character. And then as far as the Victor, because it's two leads, that was crazy. I was going on websites and trying to find someone, and 2 people fell out and whatever else. But I ended up finding someone that, wasn't necessarily my first choice, and then they just totally
nailed it.
Just embodied the character and where you're coming from, and talking with them. And I think every time you're on set, you kind of have that magic moment. I'm like, oh my God, I'm like shooting something beautiful.
Yeah.
And it came from that performance of that person that wasn't my like first pick necessarily, but totally crushed it. So it's crazy, man. This film game, especially independent, it's wild.
It's fun. It's a lot of fun. It's crazy. It's wild. And that's crazy that the female actress, you said she didn't have any experience acting.
No.
That's great.
So,
I mean, but
Days...
that's cool though, because I feel like you get to, it's raw. They're not in their head about acting. They're not ahead about the lines. You can like help them direct it and just do it how you see fit, and they'll take pure guidance and direction.
Exactly. And Days played Glada. Glada was like the Quince girl who was that badass, super just upfront. Like I really wanted to represent this like Gen Z angst like never before, that just says this doesn't make any fucking sense. Why am I doing this? But her family like forced her to. So she embodied that perfectly. And Victor was really cool. It was a guy who had to stand up in it, more so my story of the shy guy. And the lead actor was naturally shy. He was only 20 years old. I'm like, why is this guy so quiet? I was like, oh my God, he's 20. Like, I can't imagine like 10 years. I'm like, me, if I was 20 on a set, I'd be so shy too. But that ended up working for the character. So yeah, it's crazy.
That's awesome. So, if you can share now, I don't know if you can share, like it's in post now. Are you planning to just work with Netflix on it, or are you going to release it to like try to get into some, festivals? Like what is the process here for your next? Like, are you going to put on YouTube, Vimeo? Like what's however much you want to divulge?
Yeah. Zach, you make me sound so cool. Yeah, I'm gonna hit up Netflix.
But I mean, you have
have
connections. I mean, that's the thing. It's like they liked your stuff before.
Oh yeah.
You have this product. Why not hit them up and be like, look what I'm doing? You know, I mean, it's you. It's you. It totally embodies you, and this is like part of who you are, and it's part of your your repertoire. You know, it's like your resume.
Zach, you need to be my agent because that's fantastic. Yeah, you're right. You're right. I do have connections. No, yeah. So the big thing is like, yeah, I this is gonna be my big calling card film. So for the last 5 years, I've been creating digital content. I've been very deep in the Latinx space, making connections either from Hollywood side or just corporate influencer side. So I'm really excited to see, like, I was able to see what I was able to pull together through the cast, crew, all that. Now I'm really excited to see what to do with this film with the connections. So if that is, again, Netflix, if that is, this is a proof of concept for a feature.
Yeah. So
we're going to go forward with that. Again, we're going to hit the festivals and all that. We have relationships with various festivals, but also talk to some corporate connections that, maybe they, have some connection with DirecTV here, Netflix there. We're like, hey, what's up?
I love it. I mean,
White Guilt, let's go.
Exactly. But I love it. I mean, because I just feel like this, there's so many platforms out there now. There's so much content that be created. It deserves, like, I know you create great things. It should belong on some type of platform. You know what I mean? Paramount Plus.
Sure, I appreciate that.
I honestly, I truly feel that way, because I know the stuff you've done. I've seen the catalog of things you've done. So
yeah, I appreciate that, man. Yeah,
of course, man.
That's the plan.
So, other things I want to talk to you about. I know you're a big MMA guy, boxing guy-ish.
Oh.
I want to get your thoughts on this. I don't know what to call it, fight that's happening, like, was it next week or this week with Jake Paul and fucking Floyd?
Oh, God.
Last time, like, I mean, not the last time we hung out, but, like, one of the fun things that we did, I remember you rented out, you had a whole bunch of people at the office, and we watched the Floyd-Conor McGregor fight, and that was awesome.
Yeah.
That was fucking sick. And I feel like this is like a bizarro version of that. Like, I want to see it just for because I want to see Jake get his ass beat.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's wrong to say or not.
Man, we can make a whole podcast just talking about fights because I'm so happy you brought this up because I have no one to talk to. Yeah. Been stuck in the pandemic with my girlfriend. She's kind of a fan now, but it's more so me just talking her ear off about like Conor McGregor, and I'm like, he's not a dick, okay? Like, look at his story, It's like, that's more so just.
No, I feel the same with my girlfriend. I have had to switch the conversation with her. Like, we talk about like things that we like, in terms of Mandalorian and Disney stuff. But like, she won't watch fights with me. It's too bloody. It's too gory or whatever it means. Like, she's like, oh, that just looks painful. I show her highlights on on Instagram. She goes, I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that. But I've done Full Tilt where I've started to love and watch almost every single season of RuPaul's Drag Race with her, and we talk about it. Are you into it?
No, but I know exactly what you mean. Like, I'm on Married at First Sight, fucking 90 Day Fiance.
Oh my God!
Watch I'm watching all of it, man. I'm hooked now.
Things I would never watch when I was a bachelor. Single Life, I just wouldn't. And it's not. It just wouldn't. It wouldn't go in my catalog, and I don't know. I'm into it all. Like, I'm into all these things, and it's like weird, guilty pleasures. But it's opening up conversations with people that, like, I've talked to before. Now we have like better conversations or more in-depth conversations. But yeah, man, let's talk about fighting.
I love how we flew past the fighting and went straight to RuPaul and like 90 Day Fiance, like all that. It's like, no, screw that. Screw the UFC. We got better things to talk about.
The ladies in our lives have done right. So
exactly. So I have a lot of thoughts on this. So it's Logan Paul, older brother. Jake Paul's the younger brother. So Logan is fighting Floyd.
Oh.
Yeah. So it's going to be Logan Paul, the older brother.
So not Jake, the one that's like fought Nate Robinson and what's his name from UFC or former UFC.
Ben Askren. He just got, that was the last fight. But like, I guess they got some squabble. Jake took Floyd's hat, and then Floyd punched him in the face a bunch of times. It was a whole thing.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, I appreciate that too. The thing is, like, I understand Ben Askren, understand Nate Robinson, understand like all these other people. Like, okay, that's kind of, it's the fun and game. It's like celebrity boxing.
It's like celebrity deathmatch is like what
it's like celebrity deathmatch, but like it starts making it disappointing when it's like Floyd. Like, these guys must really pull in money But it's like, come on, Floyd, like you're 50, like really, we gotta do this. Like it seems like a little below him.
Yeah, that's
and
exactly.
Just,
yeah, I 100% agree. I 100% agree. It's a money grab. It's a cash grab. He doesn't need it. I don't know if he feels that. If his people are telling him like, hey, listen, this is a guy who's trending in another world that you're not popular in yet. You gotta take it. You gotta do the thing. I didn't realize it was Logan Paul. Logan has fought too, but not as serious as Jake has, from what I guess, right?
Yeah, I think he's fought before, but it's only been like YouTuber dudes, and I think he lost every time. I don't think he's won. I think maybe he's won one.
KSI?
Yeah, KSI. So there's a size difference that's there, which scares me. Because I think it's. I never thought I would be on Floyd's side because I always want Floyd to lose because he's such a dick.
Yeah,
but that's all smart, right? But I really want Floyd to win. But yeah, the size difference is there. And am I gonna watch it? Yes. God damn it. But it's like I'm not happy about it. Like I don't know. But Mike Tyson is a big advocate of the Logan and Jake. It's just like it's bringing so much interest to boxing, which in a certain capacity, okay. But like I want to see Jake fight a contender in the boxing world that maybe we don't know about.
Yeah.
And then see, then I'll take it then I'll respect it a little more, take it a little more seriously. And then he's really bringing some eyeballs to like boxers that deserve it.
Yeah. I mean, I think
that's my thoughts.
No, I completely agree. I feel like he is doing a good job bringing eyes to the boxing sport. Cause people have done, full switch to just watching UFC. MMA is, it's all about that. Boxing was dying. The only things people watched were Pacquiao, Floyd, 4 or whatever it might have been, and Canelo. Like those are the only guys that like true boxers that are keeping it alive. I mean, you had Tyson do his charity event versus I forget who he fought, what that fight was.
That was on Roy Jones.
Yeah, it was Roy Jones. It was Roy Jones. Yeah, but like I feel like there were good hits. But they're both pulling punches. They both understand that this is like, it's a young man's game and they're older now. I do like how Jake is playing this villainous boxer. Like again, it's an act. You can tell it's an act. Mm-hmm. It's really overhyped.
Exactly.
But I agree with you. I want to see more people. I want to see more up and coming boxers, guys who are actually boxers, come up and fight this guy. Throw money their way. If you're going to be this, not charity case, but if you're going to be throwing this money, sure, it's cool to see you fight, Floyd Mayweather or Manny Pacquiao or some legend of the game. But you're young, dude. If you're claiming to be this guy that can hit and be the next thing of boxing, then you need to be taking on the current people that are the next thing of boxing.
Exactly. And like, hey, I think he has pretty good skills. Like we haven't seen him against like an actual striker, but like his movements he has a strong 1-2. I'm not saying he doesn't have power. I'm not saying he doesn't have movement.
Right.
My thing is he's particularly choosing people that he knows he could win against. Cause he's like Ben Askren, for example, against Jake was like never competed higher than 170 before.
Yeah.
So like, and they fought at what, 195 or 194 or something like that. So it's like clearly size disadvantage. So I'm like,
and he didn't look like he got in fighting shape. Like he did not look he was in the shape of, when he was fighting, like when he was in UFC.
Right. I mean, yeah, obviously, he was able to like keep a little more weight on, but like I'm a big Ben Askren fan too. I knew he was going to lose, but I was like so disappointed in that. I bought a Ben Askren t-shirt too. I was like,
did you really?
I did. I'm a big Funky fan, man. Because I wrestled too in high school and stuff. So it was like, God, yeah, grapplers, hell yeah.
I didn't know you wrestled in high school too. I mean, I knew you were like again into this whole. What did you wrestle at? What weight class?
Yeah, I was like 135, like 135, 140 around there.
Did you have to cut weight a lot? Were you one of the guys?
A little bit.
Okay.
I started it was like that first year I was good, and then I just blew up, and then I had to like cut because then I was just growing.
Yeah.
Like my body was just full muscle. But yeah, I really just did it just so I could get better at jiu-jitsu. Like I was a big UFC nerd, and then I was like, oh, I should join wrestling. And everyone were a bunch of douches, but I did it. My ground game got better, but yeah, I did wrestling for a couple of years.
Yeah, I did wrestling.
I was definitely still a nerd.
Yeah.
You wrestled too?
I did. Well, so I played. I mean, I was a soccer player in high school. I played soccer in college for a year until I screwed my knee up. And then I played basketball. I wanted to do baseball, but there was like a whole thing going on because I like playing spring soccer, and they're like, you can't play outside, season sports, so you can't play baseball, but track was like cool with it. But my senior year, I played basketball in the winter, and my senior year, I just did winter track. I was going to do winter track. I didn't want to play basketball anymore. And one of the guys on the team, we were in like gym. He like some basketball came my way. He's like, "Hey, basketball guy, throw me the ball." I'm like, "I don't play basketball anymore." He goes, "You don't?" He's like, "Do you want to wrestle?" He's like, "We need a 189 pounder." And I was I was at 185 because I was tall, I was muscular, I was lanky then. And I was like, I don't know, wrestling. He's like, "Dude, it's a great workout." He's like, "It's one of the best work." And I was like, "Sure." So I just did it. And I lost. I got real in shape, but you get ripped. Like it was probably the best shape of my life. And my first two matches, which were like prelims, I wrestled at 189 and I won. And I was like, okay,
wow.
I can throw my weight around. I can pin these guys. Like I'm not the most I was definitely not the most technical. But it was a ploy because the reason why I was there was because they were going to bump me up to 215 and then the bump to 171 to 189 because they had two really good like county and state 170 wonders that could fluctuate. So that became an issue because at this point, like I didn't have to ever cut weight. I just had to put on muscle and eat, but I never went over 190. So I ended up wrestling 215 in all the matches I wrestled in regular season. I won 2. I went 2-15, no pun intended. Like I literally won 2 matches, and
That's good though.
It was not bad.
Like,
not bad.
The fact that you even won a match, you're like 1 year in. That's actually not bad.
I was 0-10, and we were on the brink of trying to make the States, and they needed me to pin this guy who was in the same scenario at another school as I was. First time ever. And dude, gymnasium full of kids, students, body athlete. You're just so jacked. And I pinned this guy, and I don't even remember because I was so jazzed up. Like, you're supposed to go over and they're supposed to raise your hand. I pinned the guy. I yelled at the audience, yelled at my team, and I walked off the mat. And they're like, "No, you got to shake hands, otherwise it's not be official." I was like, sorry. I got like so amped up.
But yes.
The one bad thing was we had a dual meet back to back or back to back meets. And our heavyweight didn't show up for the second day. So I had to wrestle a heavyweight guy. I had to put weights in my pants to make the weight because, you can only go up 1. So I had to go over 189. And the dude that shows up to weigh in was 274. He just made it under the heavyweight, which in New York, New Jersey was 275.
Good God.
So I wrestled this guy, and I was beating him on points in the second period. And I ended up getting my arm, like on a reset, my arm stuck, and he rolled me, and he fractured my rib. It was like a sting. So painful. Shit. And that was it. But I mean, it was towards the end of the season. I sucked it up. I still wrestled at 215. But dude, I loved wrestling. Going back to it, I loved wrestling. It was even though like a lot of people I wrestled were a bunch of dicks. I mean, two of them are really good friends still. But like overall, I feel like. I'm not gonna categorize people, but I just feel like people wrestling in high school, they just have this mentality, and it's a very aggressive, heated mentality that's very aggro. You know what I mean? And it didn't fit my style. It did not fit my style. So.
I feel that. I was like, I was just like an artsy kid in a wrestling team, but it was the most popular I've ever been in school. Like teachers were like, "Oh, wow," because we went to state too, and we never got that far before. So every teacher was like, "Oh, let me take your trays," or "Let me, do this," or like, "Hey, Eli," and I'm like, "Oh, everyone gave a shit about me." And then I like quit the next year and did like a socially together, naturally diverse club, and no one gave a shit anymore. So I was able to see the highs of social status and then the lows. All over again. But that's pretty impressive, man. I did it, for a year or two. And I think it's like the greatest workout ever. I think it's why I still have the traps that I do today. I lost like every match, but I don't know. Like it was so hard. Like it was just so fucking hard. I think I learned so much just with the discipline. Yeah. And just like working really hard. I think that's what I like got the most out of it. Because it was the best feeling was having those cool football players come and try to train with us. And they just couldn't keep up.
They couldn't hack it.
They just didn't have the cardio. Couldn't hack it. And that's when this nerdy art kid felt like $1 million when he was like outworking the cool like wide receiver in high school. So
Yeah.
that was good.
Yeah, exactly. Like we were like I would, going as soon as the season ended, it was probably the peak shape of my youth. You know what I mean? Like I had like 4 abs I could show off. And when you have a core like that, I was like, holy shit, I could jump high. I was able to like touch rim. And for like,
wow.
a 6-foot white guy, that's pretty impressive, I think. So like, I was like, I'm able, and now I can barely touch the bottom of the net, but I was like, wow, I want to be in this shape for the rest of my life. And then, you graduate, you go to college, and then, you drink beer and you party and have a good time.
And you still think you're going to look great forever. At least I did. I was like, oh, I'm getting a little bit of weight here, but I still look good. I still got like the little titty muscle indention and like this 8-pack and stuff. Oh, now it's 6. I still look good, and then it's like, oh, and then all of a sudden, woo. Yeah. Like, well, shit. This is adulthood.
And the best I've looked at adulthood is when after doing those BuzzFeed videos.
Right, but okay. So everyone that's listening, don't give us any shit, okay?
Yeah.
Because like I've had trainers and people at the end say like, this is not sustainable. We just want you to look good for the video. Just you're gonna gain your weight back essentially. So that's like I lost 20 pounds like 30 days. Which was insane. And then I gained the weight back because it was completely impossible to maintain that lifestyle.
Which one was that for? Was that the Chris Pratt one?
Yeah.
Because I feel like you and I have been in a couple of these that they've put us in.
Yeah. Yeah. You were in the Chris Pratt one, right?
No, I wasn't. It wasn't.
Yeah, 2 other dudes.
Because I was doing the one with Evan Gang and Ashley. Perez. So like, which was more sustained. I mean, I sustained it for a year, but it was just the amount I was working out, it was like a professional athlete. And my body wasn't used to that, and I got hurt. And also here's the thing: is like, you're committed again for yourself, but also for a video. It holds you accountable.
Exactly.
And as as an adult, and I think a lot of the people that watch our videos are on the cusp of being young adults / kids. It's like we don't have the time that a lot of people to put this in. I mean,
exactly.
I was working at the peak of these videos. I was doing 6 days a week, and I was doing 2 days of cardio because I do like 30 minutes in the morning and 5 minutes in the afternoon because I know that from just personally working out and like knowing my own body that's going to help me out. I can't just lift, and eat well. I have to do cardio portion, And we're obviously, like we have those genes that are like, if, we can eat bad for like a day, but if we go over those 2 days or 3 days, it's like, I feel like that pant size is a little tough right now.
It's the most frustrating thing. I'll never forget. I loved watching early Adam Sandler movies. Like I watched Big Daddy like a million times.
Yep.
And there's this line that he says that I didn't understand. And I remember when it happened to me with my metabolism and it hit me as an adult. He was like, if I drink a milkshake, my ass jiggles for a week. And I was like, I don't get that. What are you talking about? And then I remember like holy shit. Yeah. If I drink one milkshake, my ass jiggles for like a week. Like I can't, I would have to be like perfect in order to maintain. And I'm like, wait, I'm not getting paid to like go to like be in the Thor movie or whatever. I just got to like make movies and, do my thing.
But it's good to know that if people do call us up for that type of stuff, we can get in that shape, That's
true.
That's the thing. It's like, I feel like, and I know that's like a stupid silver lining or whatever, but it is not maintainable, but there is a healthy lifestyle balance between both, and I think people need to figure that out because again, it's what you and I do probably work well for each other, but it may not work well for someone else. Someone might be able to eat a certain type of food that has more starches or carbs or whatever it may be. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. We have to be more aware, if you want to say, more aware of what we're putting on our bodies, which fucking sucks because I feel like you and I You and I grew up in fantastic food cities or near fantastic food cities, which is, I want to talk about next, like Chicago, New York, what is, so like just switching topics like that. I know you're a big wing guy. So are you a boneless guy or are you a bone-in guy?
Oh, Zach, why are you wasting my time with these questions? Like glorified chicken nuggets? Is this what we're talking about right now? No, a wing is a wing, Zach. What are you doing to me right now? Yeah. First off, I just want to give some value on this sake real quick with the workout thing.
Yeah.
What completely changed my game for anyone that's listening, that's struggling to work out, going to the gym. I remember listening to Kevin Hart, And he says, you know, I work out so I could be the best I can be in my performance for the people that follow me, that love me, my fans or whatever. So like it changed my psyche of like, okay, it's not so much about looking sexy or good or whatever. It's just about me being the most optimal, best energy, feel, all that for the people that believe in me, for the people that digest my content, for the people that are going to invest in me. So like working out, I've changed my relationship of going to the gym and working out is more so just like, you know, it's for me to be at my optimal best. Again, I'm going to eat a cheesecake. I'm going to eat this and live my life, but I'm going to be at a point where like, it's not so much about looking good for people that I don't even know. It's more so being the best I can for the people that care about me and believe in me, or like, so I can promote and create the best stuff I can, you know? So
I love that.
I just want to throw that little,
no, you know what?
Self-hype.
No. Jesus. I appreciate that. And I should have, you know, we should have talked about that more because it's true. Like I remember when I did the first video, it was to look good and feel good, but it was really like talking to my, like, you know, you talking about your family, your friends. I talked to my brothers. They're like, we're excited for you because we're excited just to see how happy you are. I'm not saying, they're like, we're not saying you're not happy, but we can tell that you're not thrilled, you know, like with yourself. And it's like, it's just being comfortable in your body, and you have to be comfortable in your body at all times, through the bad times, the good times, pandemic times, you know, like it's, your body's your body. You got to treat it the way you should, but you know, love your body and put good things in it. And also you deserve to treat yourself. You know, I think people get all hooked in, like you said, of just like being, a good soldier, eating right all the time. And it's sure it's feasible, but at a certain point, it's like, who are you doing it for? Are you, and like, again, Are you doing it because I got a lot of notice being in the video? You get popular on Instagram, people notice you for those things. And, you know, it's funny, like the reason, you know, what's interesting why you say that and what sparks interest in that thought is earlier this year, you know, I'm doing bagel reviews on my channel with my brother, which I haven't done in a minute, but we're doing bagel reviews. And there was one, there's only like 2 comments on the page. And the second comment was, holy shit, is that Zach from BuzzFeed? Man, he really went back to the way he looked. Like, and it was just like, or something along those things. And I was just like, and I know he didn't, whoever's writing it is probably young, doesn't mean to be nasty. And it wasn't coming off as nasty, but it frustrated me. You can ask Indy. I was just like, for 2 episodes we were talking about, I'm like, I'm like, and whoever said that comment, and I was like, you just got to let it go. You know, like it shouldn't matter what some person, no-name person, or no-faced person that you've never met before. It's a matter of what your family. And if your family loves you or your friends love you and they appreciate you and they're doing this for yourself, then, you know, the number on the scale shouldn't matter. It's just how you feel.
Exactly, how you feel. But those comments, I mean, they do get to you. I mean, it sucks, right? You get like 1,000, like, oh man, you're hot AF. And then one, I'm like, damn, bro, you let yourself go. Oh my God. And you're like up like at the edge of your bed, just can't sleep, just thinking about that comment.
You're like, I gotta get it tomorrow.
You're right though. You're totally right. You know, which is why, you know, back to the segue of chicken wings. I'm going to eat all those mofos and then go to the gym the next day.
But they're also protein, so it's good. It's
protein.
Fine. It's fine.
So much fat and cholesterol, but yeah, protein. Yeah,
Listen, if you're doing keto, they're fantastic. So.
Oh, really?
I mean, you could do, if you pick the sauce correctly, as long as the sauce doesn't have a lot of sugar, yeah.
Oh, okay. This might change the game for me because I've never done keto before. But if I could eat chicken wings.
I did keto. So during last year in the pandemic, I gained the weight, I lost the weight, I gained the weight, I lost the weight, then I gained the weight again. It was like a fluctuation thing, you know, because there were times where, you know, gyms were open, I would go, and then they would close for like a month. But during the summer, like for 3 months, I did keto and I was able to like work out, and I lost like 25 pounds, and I felt good. I felt. And I lost it fast and I kept it off for a while. And I was doing keto with intermittent fasting. I do like doing intermittent fasting when I can.
Wow.
And it helped. I felt, it was the first diet I felt, because they talk about this, like the ketones affect your mental, you know, it helps with your mental capacity. It makes you more aware, smarter, you retain information. I did feel like that. I did feel I was more mentally aware. But, you know, it's the thing with, you know, if you... I gained the weight back fast because it went into the holiday season, and I didn't like ease myself back onto, you know, like I just went full ham. And I think that's the one, people talk about the one downside from keto. I'm sure I'll get like some comments be like, that's not the downside, but you know, if you go off keto too fast, you blow up and you put on the weight back.
Oh, that's really? You got to send me some links about the fasting thing. I have
subscription or like a magazine that I have that has like all the keto stuff. I'll definitely send that to you. So
yeah, send it my way because I've essentially just been eating mashed potatoes and applesauce for a whole week. So I think fasting, I could probably handle it at this point in the game. I haven't even lost any weight. This is what's ridiculous. Like, it's driving me crazy.
You haven't lost because you're not eating. Oh, because you're not eating. Yeah. I mean, the body's stupid like that, man. It's
so dumb.
It's so dumb.
So dumb. But I love myself.
Exactly.
Yes,
All right. A couple more things before I let you go, man. This has been a lot of fun. But okay. Again, Chicago guy. And here's the thing: is like people think Chicago pizza, it's only deep dish, but there are other there's bar pizza, there's thin crust. What is? And I'll throw New York in there. Out of all these pizzas, what is your favorite? Like, and I'm not going to throw hate if you pick Chicago. I'm not going to hate if you pick the Chicago bar style. Everyone's got a different style because I think it's still good.
Yes. I'll tell you right now, New York's not in my list, but it's still good. Don't get me wrong, it's still good. I will say this. Everyone says deep dish. Bruh, I've been living in Chicago, outside Chicago. We barely eat deep dish. That's like, that's when you like, do you eat a goose every day, a turkey? No, it's not sustainable. It's too much work. You feel like shit after. But, and when you feel like up to it, sure. But like what hits me is, that thin crust.
Yeah.
And it's not cut into slices. It's cut into squares.
Yeah.
So you pull apart the little squares to get that nice gooey middle square of like that cheesy goodness, and you just take it out, and it's like little, like almost little smaller bite size. But I would say the thin crust cut into squares, not the slice. Game changer. That's what I grew up on. So that's really.
I love it. No, I love it. I think that's why I prefer New York over deep dish, because I do like thin crust. I do like, a nice, it's crunchier, it's better. You can get that in New York, especially if it's Sicilian, or you get like just a regular slice, you can ask for it well done. And it's not like the thin crust pizza, but it's close enough. And I prefer that. Yes. I prefer that to like the deep dish. Deep dish is a great treat, I think, like once a year for me.
Yeah. It's like, I think everyone just assumes like, oh, Eli must be in deep dish like every day. I'm like, no, that's not, you got the whole stereotype wrong. But like, I appreciate like the toppings, the cheese. I really want to embrace that. So the thin crust really kind of brings out that cheesy goodness. It's like a really savor that flavor. So that's what man, I want to go to Chicago now.
Now I just want to order like rough. Domino's thin crust, because that's like, it's not comparable, but like, it's still thin crust. But I don't know. I found like a couple decent places out here in LA. Do you have a good place out here in LA for pizza?
No. I hate to say it, but I just used the chain spot, my chain of choice, and it's probably the dirtiest guilty pleasure. It's the we were racist pizza, the Papa John's. Yeah, sorry, racist pizza. It's so good. I was like, damn. Well, they got Shaq now. They got the Shaq-a-roni.
Yeah,
like,
they got
the Shaq-a-roni. It's fine. It's not racist anymore. But like, it's so good. I was like, God damn. But like, in comparison to like Pizza Hut and Domino's, like that's my thing of choice. But I haven't found a good like LA pizza spot. I don't know.
I got a couple places I can lay, because you're not here right now. But when you come back, man, we can grab a couple places.
Yeah,
it's some of them are slices, but I found a really good place to do like personal pies, like, the brick oven pizza type of style. So it's better. Again, it's nothing. You're not going to find it. I feel like you're not going to find like the perfect pizza. Like you're not going to find the great bagel out here, So
yeah, you're right. I mean, LA made me appreciate like Korean food,
yes.
And or Denver made me appreciate LA's like Korean food scene, like a lot of Latin food, Mexican food, stuff like that.
Tons. Of
Yeah, that's what I
tell my friends. I'm like, you just got it from New York. I'm like, if you come out to LA, you just got to trade your pizza slice for tacos. Like that's just like the switch that you got to do.
That's what it is. Exactly.
Pineapple on pizza? Yes, no.
God, no.
Okay.
I flick the pineapple off.
Yes.
Okay. I gotta take it. I could handle like a little bit of the juice, but a whole fruit on it, it doesn't make sense to me. Like
it doesn't make it tasty. I feel like it's just not. The tanginess is already coming from what should be good marinara sauce. You don't need to add that anymore.
That's a very good point. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, you don't need the pineapples. Yeah, I always flick it off, and I'm like, okay, I can handle a little bit of the juices, but like, no. Like I'm like, and then I think this. I think in society, like we really need to sit down, and those people need to come to terms with themselves and be like, this isn't normal. They just need to we need to have that real, because they know.
Yeah.
They know. It's
Yeah.
like, they know it's not normal. You're putting fruit on pizza. Like, what the hell's wrong with you? Like, I don't know. Like, go to Italy and do that. They'll backhand you.
Yeah, my Italian friend says, listen, it's simple. The reason why we don't put pineapple on pizza is because pineapples don't grow in Italy. So why do they belong, Like, I'm like, do they not? I mean, that's kind of, I feel like they have to. He's like, no, they don't. I'm like, all right, fair enough.
Yeah, that makes sense. Actually, you want to hear how ignorant I am, how Midwestern ignorant I am? In college, I went to Rome for like a writing, whatever class or whatever. And I was so hyped to get like, what is it? Like, I pretty much like remembered the list of Olive Garden. I'm like, I'm going to smash. If it tastes good at Olive Garden, it's going to taste even better in Italy, dog. And I remember I was like, yo, so when are we going to get the chicken, the fucking fettuccine Alfredo, chicken Alfredo and stuff. And the guy was like, we don't have that here. Like, what are you talking about? I'm like, what? You don't have the meatballs with the cheeseburger and all that? I'm like, no. I'm like,
oh my God.
What am I doing here then? Like, it was so dumb. And I was like, but I realized how beautiful like Italian cuisine actually is.
You're like, can you point me to the Olive Garden in Rome? Like, is there a Hard Rock Cafe Rome? Can you point me to one of those, please?
Where's the original?
Where's the original?
Where's the original Olive Garden? That's what I'm trying to find.
Is it by the Coliseum? Where is it? Tell me where it is.
Yeah, where is it? That's what I'm trying to find.
That's fucking funny, man. Well, listen, I'm gonna let you go. I appreciate you like joining the show, man. I really do. I appreciate, we need to hang out once everything is really cleared and you're back. Are you going to be permanently going back and forth? Like, what's the?
Yeah. So the plan for me is I'm still kind of figuring it out. I'm going to be back in Chicago throughout July to see family again, but I will be in LA in the fall.
Sweet, man.
For at least a couple months.
Awesome.
So we will
love
definitely
to
get some slices.
Sweet, bro.
Yes.
Awesome.
Please.
Well, thanks so much, man. Keep us updated when how Quince Til Infinity is going, and follow my man Eli Vazquez. You want to drop the handles for us real quick? I mean, I could do it.
Yeah.
You got it.
Most definitely. Well, Zach, first off, thank you for having me, man. I was like really looking forward to this because I knew we would just jam out and just hang.
Yeah,
like, this is probably the most chill, fun podcast experience I've been a part of.
We need to do it after, like, when we're not on like podcast and just chill it, man.
Yes, and Indy, so I could see Indy's beautiful face. Yes, exactly. So everyone, I'm all my social is at It's Eli Vazquez, ITSELI VAZQU easy. Follow me. My big intention with social media is to show that you have all the tools right now to change your life, because I was able to do it for me. So I use it very consciously. I share just everything I know, from marketing to personal development to just mindset. I use it very consciously to better your life. So if you haven't been following me, shoot me a DM. I do workshops, programs, all that to just amplify what you already have and to change your life for the better. Because I'm trying to create an inclusive movement of personal development, which is why it's called #self-hype. So check me out there.
That's great, man. I love it. I love what you're doing. Keep it going, dude. And I look forward to seeing you soon, man.
Thank you so much, Zach, Indy. I love you guys.
Love you, man.
So much.
Appreciate it.